Hi everyone, this is Timothy Gan. I've been a Singapore mathematics teacher specializing in Singapore A-level H2 mathematics. I've been teaching maths for about 10 over years. Today I'll be looking at the IGCSE specimen paper taken from the year 2020. This is a paper 2, I believe. Now, many of you may not know Singapore mathematics at the O-level actually is similar to the IGCSE. Maybe the questions that we do is slightly difficult. Slightly more intense, I believe, but I think it's generally the same. Okay, so let's look at how we can do this. Let me just read through the instructions. So we are supposed to answer all questions. All right, this is okay. An erasable pen or correction fluid, do not use it. Okay, that's pretty okay. I'm not too sure whether we are given a mathematical formula sheet. Okay, but we are told to use the geometrical instruments. Okay, I think it's pretty okay. Okay, I was just going to solve this without thinking that there is a formula list given to you. Right, let's look at the first question. So let's look at the first here. So a train leaves Zurich at 2240 and arrives at Vienna at 0732 the next day. So we are asked to work out the time the train takes. Okay, I think this is pretty okay. So the first thing is just know that actually there are 2 days here. So from 2240 to 00, this is midnight here. Okay, and then after which we gonna the next day of 7:32 a.m. Great. So what we're gonna do here is just to find the time difference here. So from here to here would be, you could just do 2400 minus 2240. Actually, you could just work it out quite fairly quickly. This is 20 minutes and this is after 60, this is 23, right? So this is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, here will be 1 hour and 20 minutes. Then after which here, this is 7 hour and 32 minutes. I think that's pretty okay. So what you need to do is just add this both up, 1 hour and 7 hour 32 minutes. I think that's pretty okay. That will be, just add it up. So 20 minutes plus 32, that will be 52 minutes. And then this is 7 hours plus 1, so it's 8 hours and 52 minutes. Okay. Then subsequently, in a box of 80 glasses, 3 are broken. Work out the percentage of broken glasses in the box. 80 glasses. So broken glasses, that will be 3 over 80 times 100. Are we allowed to use calculator in this paper here? Are we? Okay. Are we supposed to use? Okay, we're not supposed to use it, is it? Oh, we should use a calculator here. Okay, great. Okay, we use calculator. Okay, great. So this case here, what we can do is just bring out a calculator. And we just take 3 over 80 times 100. Multiply by 100. That will give us, very good, 3.75%. So this is 3.75%. I think that's pretty okay. I think for the first few questions, as usual, it's usually, don't take too long to answer the first few questions, because those are the type of questions which you need to use it to buy back the time that you're going to waste for the more difficult questions. So let's look at the third question here. We have got the third question, which is put a ring around the number with the largest value. A ring. Okay, this is interesting. I am not too sure what is just circle it, a ring. Okay, this will be 0.3333. So I'm going to just put everything in decimal places. So this is actually not bigger than this. This is obviously not bigger than this. This is 0.3. So this is obviously not bigger than this. Then this is not bigger. So put a ring, I guess. Put a ring here. Good. Okay, number 4. Chai says that 8 cm square is the same as 80 millimeters square millimeters. So explain why Chai is wrong. The first thing is we know that 1 cm is actually 10 mm. Alright, now this is cm. Now when you talk about square, meaning you are actually finding the area. Rather, you are taking 2 dimensions here. We are taking one length, so for example, let me just give you an example. 8 cm square, if say we have a rectangle here, to make it 8 cm square for its area, you can have 2 cm here and say this is 4 cm. Okay, so in other words, if you want to change it to millimeter, this would be 20 mm and this is 40 mm. So essentially what you get is 20 times 40 mm, that will be 800 millimeter square. All right. So explain why is it wrong? Because you can just write it because 1 cm. Okay, so 1 cm square. So if you square this both sides here, square this both sides here, okay, is equals to, because 1 cm square is equals to 100 mm square. That is to say 8 cm square is equals to 800 mm square. Okay, I think that's pretty okay. Okay, let's just give a reason. Let's look at the next page. Here. Okay, I think this is pretty okay. Y equals mx plus c is actually just a line equation, which all of us know. Find the value of y when m is -2 and x is -7 and c is -3. I think just substitute it in. So that is not too bad. Just bear in mind, I think sometimes students get careless is because they don't bracket. Just remember that bracket is free. I always believe that bracket is free, but your marks are not. So please make sure that you just bracket. If you're not too sure, just bracket when you replace things in. This is -7. Of course, you can use, then just key this in. That will be 11. Alright, so this is 11. Oh, that's pretty okay. Then the next part. The number of the cars parked in a car park at 9 AM is recorded for 10 days. Complete the stem and leaf diagram where 12, I'm not sure, this stroke 3 represents 1, 2, 3 cars. That's pretty okay. So we 1, 2, so this is 4. So I'm going to put the 4 here because I need to arrange it in ascending order for each, right? So this is 130, so I'm going to get 0 here. This is 129, so 9 is here. And this is 116, 116 is here. Actually, I could, 132 would be, 132 is here. There's 12 here, 120 will be here. And 127 will be here. 107, 107 will be here. 118 will be here. And 114 will be here. Okay, man. So now we get this 7, and I'm just going to arrange these in ascending order. So 4, 6, and 8. Just try and space it out. This 0, 4, 7, 9. And after we have 0 and 2. Okay? So I am going to just grade this out. Okay, you can just write it in pencil when you are doing, this part of calculator, but I'm going to just delete it because it's not part of my working there. There you go. This is how I complete the stem and leaf diagram. Let's look at the subsequent part. So using a ruler and a pair of compasses only, construct a triangle with sides 5 cm, 8 cm, and 10 cm. Leave your answer. Leave in your construction arcs. Leave in your construction arcs. Okay, great. So let's look at my paper here, my table. So usually what I will suggest students to do is to just use a longer ruler. So this is a longer ruler because it's easier. Then before you start, make sure that your pencil is also sharp, right? Don't use a blunt pencil because you need the proper marking there. So let's see how we can do this properly. First of all, let me take another pencil here. Oh, never mind, I'll just use this. You have to construct a triangle with 8 cm here, 10 and 5 cm. So just quickly draw it out. So you have got 5, 8, and 10. It's just better to leave the longer side. The longer sides be the bottom, right? So in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a 10 cm base here. So I'm going to draw it a 10 cm base here. You just mark it, right? Mark it, make sure it's 10 cm. There you go. I think so. So this is 10 cm. So just label this as 10 cm here. That's okay. Now the next thing is you need an 8 cm. Or you can just choose either one is fine. I'm going to use 5 first. So 5 will be here. Okay, just try and be as accurate as we can. So this tip to this tip here. You know, 5 cm. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this part. Now, Why do I draw an arc with a radius of 5? Because any point on this arc here to the point, towards the point there, is actually 5 cm. Right, so if you think about it, these are all 5 cm away from this point here. Then the next one will be 8 cm. So same thing, measure 8 cm using a ruler here. This is 8, and I'm going to put it here. Same thing, draw an arc here. Now when you draw an arc, just push this needle part here down, then you just slowly swirl it around here, like that. So this point here is where, it's 5 cm away from this point and 8 cm from this point, right? 8 cm from this point. So what we need now is just to connect it. So connect it will be here. And here. Okay, so this case will be 5 cm here, and this will be 8 cm. Great. This is the triangle that I constructed. So this is how we constructed this, construct this triangle here. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the. So I'm gonna leave this blank. Let's look at the next page here. So triangle ABC is isosceles. AC is parallel to BD. So I'm just gonna highlight this. AC is parallel to BD. And find the value of A and value of B. Value of A and value of B. Oh, okay. So this is an alternate angle. So this is 40 degrees, right? So this case here, this is a Z here. Do you see that? So this is an alternate angle here. B would just be, very quickly, B would just be 40 degrees. Okay. Then this angle here is just 180 minus 40 degrees divided by 2. This is because this is a isosceles triangle. These two base area here is the same. Okay, so let me repeat. This is A as well. So 40 plus A, the sum of an interior angle is just 180. So this case here, you can get A by just summing all the sides in the triangle there, right? So yeah, this case here would be 2A is equals to 180 minus 40, and that would be A equals to 70 then. Okay, maybe I shouldn't work too fast. 2A equals to, this is 140. Okay, so this would be 140 divided by 2, which is 70. There's 70 here. Great, so that's how we do this part here. Next part, rearrange the formula 5w minus 3y plus 7 to make w the subject. Okay, so now we need to just unlock and make sure that w is the subject. So first thing is try and move these two terms to the other side, because you need to make w the subject. We're just going to add 3y both sides. Add 3y both sides. Maybe add 3y. This is 5w. If you add 3y, this will form a 0 pair. Be plus 7 equals to 3y. Okay, for those of you who are like faster, you can actually just minus 7 straight. It's okay. It's alright. So this is minus 7 as well. So 5w equals to 3y minus 7. W will just be divided by 5 both sides, and you will get 3y minus 7 divided by 5. Very quickly, so it's 3y minus 7 divided by 5. Okay, so that is how you do this part here. Let's look at the subsequent one. This part, explain why root 3 is irrational. Because first of all, what is rational number? You must be able to explain what is a rational number. Okay, you must be able to explain the rational number. So the first thing is, rational numbers are numbers which can be expressed as p over q, where p and q are a subset of the integers. Okay, so in other words, you can just quickly explain it basically if it's irrational, because it cannot be expressed in a fraction, as because it cannot be expressed as a fraction of two integers. Okay, as a fraction of two integers. I don't know whether that makes sense. Okay, because it cannot be expressed as a fraction of two integers. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's the idea there. Okay, I think, yeah, let's look at the next one. So for the next question here, we're gonna look at the mass m kilograms of a horse is 429 kg. Correct to the nearest kilogram. Complete the statement about the value of m. Oh, okay, great. So if it's correct to the nearest kilogram, meaning 429, okay, for example, if it's 428.9, correct to the nearest kilogram would be 429, right? 429 kg. Correct. So if it's 428.5, it will also be 429 kg. Am I right? So if it's so let me just repeat so now the question now is you need to complete the statement where there's an inequality there. Just look at that. I think you just draw a number line. It will be much easier there. So let's say there are a few numbers on the number line here. So this is 429 kg. Okay? So any number which is like, 429.4, then you have got 429.5, and maybe you have 4, I'm not sure, just 428.9, 428.5, 428.4. Okay, so there are quite a few numbers here in decimal. So this, if you correct this into the nearest kilogram, it will be 429. This correct the nearest kilogram, it will be 429 as well. This will be 428 instead, right? So let's say there's a 428 here. Right, so just draw a number line. It works. These are the two integers, because these integers here are the the numbers which you correct to the nearest, basically correcting to the nearest integers. Then similarly with this, it will just correct to this as well. So with this information, you could actually write this down. This will be 428.5 here, minimally, and the upper bound will be 2.9.5. All right, so that's how you do this question here. Let's look at the subsequent question. Triangle ABC is similar to the triangle PQR. So these are two similar figures. Find PQ. So if you have two similar figures, meaning the geometrical properties are the same in the sense that like you are thinking about this angle is the same as this angle is the same as this, and this angle is the same as this. Okay, the ratio of the length is the same as well. So this length here corresponds to this length here. Okay, this length here corresponds to this length here. I'm not sure how strict IGCSE is, but in Singapore, math, when we are doing similar figures, when you want to find PQ, you need to write in this PQ over AB. So the corresponding PQ over AB is equals to PR over AC. I was told that you can't write like PQ over PQ over PR is equals to AB over AC. You can't do that in Singapore math, but I'm not too sure whether in IGCSE that's the case. But anyway, it's the same thing. So I'm going to put this as X, favorite X, right? So this is X. And that will be 5.2 equals to PR, which is 21.7 over 12.4. So X will just be, quickly, maybe I should just minimize this. What we get is 21.7 over 12.4 times 5.2. Okay. Key in would be 21.7 times 5.2 divided by 12.4. That will be 9.1. 9.1. Alright, 9.1 cm. Great. Let's look at the subsequent part. Solve the inequality n plus 5, 7 minus 5, n minus 2. Okay, let's say same thing. If you want to solve this inequality here, what you need is actually to move the n to one side and the constant to the other side, right? So preferably, okay, I'm just going to assume that you're going to move this 5n to this side here. So n minus 5n plus 7. So you just minus 5n on both sides. Similarly, those of you who are faster, you could just skip the step here. Okay, so this is minus 4n, then after which you minus 7n to minus 8 minus 7. So you must be able to get this manipulation here. So let me just write this in another color. Okay, so this will be minus 5n on both sides, and then after which we just minus 7 on both sides here. Okay, wait. So once you're done really, what we could do is actually just minus 4n minus 8, negative 8 minus 7. That will be negative 15. Great job. This is where the tricky part comes in. When you divide both sides by a negative number, this is where a lot of times students forget to swap the sign here. Okay, then you ask, why do we need to swap the sign? Because inequalities is like that because you're studying negative and positive numbers. Okay, just to give you a quick overview, negative 2 is, okay, maybe I'll just put this. So 2 is actually less than 5. But between negative 5 and negative 2, actually negative 2 is bigger. Okay, so that's why you need to divide. You need to flip it up. So this case here, just don't forget to flip this. Don't forget to flip. Okay, so this case here, what we get is actually just n minus 15 over negative 4, and n will just be bigger than, just key in calculator, negative 15 over negative 4. That will be 3.75. Okay, 3.75. Yeah. So to solve this, just write this 3.75 here. There you go. 2 marks. Great. Let's look at the subsequent question then. This part here, without using a calculator, work out 1 and 7 over 12 plus 13 over 20. You must show all your working and give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. Okay, great. Okay, I'm not sure how would you prefer to do that. I think I'm just going to make this improper fraction. So this will just be 12 plus 7 over 12 plus 13 over 20. Okay, then the next thing is you try and find the common denominator here. Using LCM, the lowest common multiple, that would be the easiest. So if you're not too sure what is it, you could just quickly do 12 is equals to 2 squared times 3, 20 is equals to 2 squared times 5. So you realize that what is the LCM here will be 2 squared times 3 times 5, all right? Which is actually very quickly 3 times 5 times 4. LCM will be the easiest. 4, 3 times 5, yeah, correct. So it's 60. So you need to change it to 60 here. I'm gonna just do it slowly because now without using calculator, right, we're gonna just slowly do this part here. This will just be 19 over 12 plus 20. So to make it to 60, this is LCM is 60. Change it to 60 here, lowest score. But of course, you can just multiply both sides by the large mean 20 and 12 here, but it's not going to be very efficient because after that you need to simplify it, which is going to be more tedious. So in this case here, 12, just take 60 divided by 12, that will be 5, right? You need 5 here, so multiply by 5, multiply by 5, and this will just be multiplying by, what do you call it, 3 and 3. Okay, I know it says that without using calculator, but 19 times 5, should I just, okay, I'll just manually count it out. So this is that multiplied by 5, 45, 5, and this is 95. Yeah, 95 over 60 plus 339 over 60. Okay, then it'll be 95 plus 39 over 60. Mixed number in its simplest form. Okay, so this case once done, this will just be 95 over 39 plus 39 would be 4, 12, 12, 12, 12. So 134 over 60. Okay, so you can just leave it in this form, I believe. But you want it in mixed number, so this will just be 120 plus, because a multiple of 60 is 120, right? This is 60. And this would just be 14. Wow. Okay. 60 here. Alright. Then this would just be 14 over 60. Because this will constitute a 2. And this is 14 over 60 here. Of course, you can just simplify 14 over 60. That will be, this is the divided by 2, 7 and 30. So the answer will just be 7 over 30. Okay? So that's how you do this part here. I think it's pretty okay. Just slow. And yeah. Let's look at 15. Here's a sequence of numbers 7, 5, 3, 1 and -1. Find the next term in the sequence. So, you could see that we can try arithmetic progression first, meaning we'll see whether there's a constant difference between the two numbers. Actually, you can see it -2, -2, 3 minus 2 will be 1, -2 will be -1, so just -2 again. Okay, so one way is just -2 to answer 3, 1, -1, then it will be -3. Find the next term, which would be -3. Okay, there you go. Then find an expression for the nth term of this sequence. Okay, there are a few ways of doing this. So we do the faster way would be just knowing that this is Tn. So you know that the common difference is -2. So -2 multiplied by n is the key here. Okay, so this is T1. So if T1, this will be if you sub 1 into this will be -1. So T1 is -2 times 1 here. This is -2. Of course, if you want to make it to 7, you just need to plus a 9. Right? So just check T2, is it -2? You plus a 9 as well. So this case here, this will give us 7. And this will give us 5. Okay, I repeat. So you start off with -2 here, and you just ask yourself what should you add behind here. So it should be plus 9 here. So this first method is the ability to be able to tell that is an AP is crucial. You just write -2n and you figure out what's a constant behind here. I repeat. So you start off with, maybe I'll just repeat method 1. Method 1 will be Tn, we start with -2n, and T1 is -2, 1. This is -2. T2 is -2, 2, which is -4 here. So 1. Okay, so what we need now is making it T1 to 7. So this need to add by 9, and this need to add by 9 as well. So there you go, -2n plus 9. That's pretty okay. Method 2 will be pattern recognition. This case here will just be if T1 is equals to 7, T2 is equals to 7 plus 1 times -2, and this T3 equals to 7 plus 2 times -2. Okay, you can see that when this is 2, this is 1. When this is 3, this is 2. Okay, when this is 1, then there will be a 0 -2. So if it's a Tn, you will know that this is 7 plus, this is 3. To get 2, you just n minus 1 minus 2. And once you expand this out, it will just be -2n plus 9 as well. Okay, method 2 is slightly more long-winded, but it's really pattern recognition. But both works. Okay, both works. Let's look at the subsequent question then. A hexagon has 5 angles that each measure 115 degrees. Calculate the size of the 6th angle. Okay, that is interesting. Now, the hexagon meaning Now what you can tell is essentially that you can either use a formula or try and understand. We know that the exterior angle of any kind of hexagon means you have is a six-sided what do you call it, polygon, right? So we're told that this is 1150, this is 1150 as well, this is 1150, this is 11. Okay, I don't draw to scale, so I'm not sure. So okay, maybe I'll just put this as 1150 as well. Okay. So how do we actually try and find this? So we need to find the total interior angle of a hexagon. Okay, a hexagon. The easiest way to measure the interior angles, meaning you add all the interior angles here, alright, is to just split it into the few triangles here. Okay, so just come from a common point, just add it up. All these interior angles here will definitely add up to the total interior angle. So this plus this, add with this and this, and this and this and this and this and this, right? So you can see that actually what's going on here, there are how many triangles are there? The total interior angle would be total interior angles. Okay, would just be 180 degrees multiplied by 4. Because there are four triangles, right? So you just add all the interior angles together. That will be 180 times 4. That will be 720. Yep. Then what you need to do is just take 720. So x will just be 720 minus of 5 times 115. That will be 720 minus 5 times 115. That will be 145 degrees. Okay, the answer will be 145 degrees. Yeah. So that's how you do this question here. If you've forgotten about the formula, just remember interior angle, you can just split up by a few triangles and just add up the interior angles there. Okay, let's look at the subsequent part here. So for the subsequent part, calculate the area of the trapezium. The area of trapezium, interesting, is actually half AB, A plus B times height, the perpendicular height, which is this height here. In this case, it's 80. But we don't have 80. So what we do, we're just going to force out a right angle triangle, because once we have a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem maybe, or trigo ratio to try and solve it. Right angle triangle, yeah. So this case here, you just force it out here. Okay, this would be a right angle triangle here. You would know that this length here will be 12 minus 8, right? So 12 minus 8 would be 4 cm here. All right, 4 cm. So the height, okay, so hence AD by Pythagoras theorem AD square, yeah, just write it down. AD square, which is a common height here, is actually 4 square. Oh my goodness, sorry. 8 square equals to 4 square plus AD square. Okay, so I'm looking at this right angle triangle here. Please take note. So hypotenuse, the two sides, there will be 4 square. So AD square will just be 8 square minus 4 square, and this is AD over square root 8 square minus 4 square, and that will be 8 square minus 4 square. So just key in calculator. I'll just key in for you. This one here will just be square root of 8 square minus 4 square. That will be 6.928. 6.928 cm. 2. Okay, so that's one. Then you want to find the area of trapezium. So hence, area of trapezium is just half A plus B, half A plus B. So 8 plus 12. 8 plus 12 times 6.9282. Okay, so there you go. So this case here, what we'll get is multiply by 20 divided by 2. 69.282. So this is 69.282 square cm, 69.3 cm square. So let's leave it in 3 SF. Okay, 3 significant figures. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, the units are already there. That's okay. So that's how we do this question here proficiently. Let's look at the subsequent one. Let's look at the subsequent part. Subsequent part will be shade the region in each of the Venn diagram as shown. Oh, great. So union. Union means you add everything up together. You don't need to find the intersection. You just add everything up. A prime. Okay, I'm just going to shade the A prime out. Thankfully for me, this is like A prime. A prime is anything outside of A, so you don't really need to worry. Anything outside here will be A prime, and you need to union it with B. Okay, so let me just shade this whole thing out first. Okay, here, great. Now once this is done, then we're going to look at B. B is here. B is this whole thing here. Great. So to shade the region in each Venn diagram below. Okay, so A prime union B would be, we just add everything up. So the one that we want is shading this. Maybe I should use a blue. Shade here. Okay, union just means you add up all these up, right? Just union it up. You're not finding the intersection between them. So just shade all these out here. Okay, shade. So this is my answer here. Okay. Great. Let's look at the subsequent one. Wow, I like this. This is fun. So D intersect E would be D intersect E. So D intersect E would be this half-baked potato here, right? Correct. So basically you just D intersect E. So it'll be here, this middle part. Alright. So you intersect both sides. This will be a half-baked potato here. Now you want the prime, so meaning you are taking the outside. So I'm going to just this will be then this one here. When you apply to it, will be anything but that half-baked potato in the middle. Sorry. So great. Ta-da! We're gonna just do this out. Okay, great. Oh my goodness, this is so tedious. Alright, then once you're done, you need to take this orange color region here to intersect with F. So F would be, I'm just going to use this as F. So F would be here. Okay, so the intersecting part will be here. So this is my answer here. I'm going to shade this part here. Ouch. Okay, so this is the part which I am looking at, this portion here. Okay, this portion here. Just take note of that. So that's how I do this part here, this question proficiently. It's pretty okay. Let's look at the subsequent part. So for the subsequent part, use a calculator to find the decimal value of this whole thing here. I think it's pretty okay. So just follow it. Just don't mess it up, okay? This kind of question, you really need to get the whole 1 mark there. So minus 3 multiplied by 32 to the power of 0.4. There you go. And divided by 3. There you go, enter it. This is 1.37436. So do we need in, yeah, so this will be in 3SF. This is 1.37. Okay, there you go, decimal value. That's about it. Question 20, write the recurring decimal of 0.32 dot as a fraction. Okay, so you must show you're working clearly. Okay, so I like this question as well. So you just let x equals to 0.32 dot. Then what you need to do next is essentially just get rid of the recurring decimal. Because it's very annoying to be able to, you need to deal with this, right? This is just 0.32222222. So if you can create something out, so say just multiply by 1. So 10x will just be 3. So move by 1, multiply by 10. Okay, 10x will just be 3.2 ... or rather 3.2 ... like that. All right. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I need to get rid of my recurring numbers behind. So this is 1 and 2. I could just take 2 minus of 1. Okay, you take 10x here, minus of x will just be 3.22 ... minus of 0.32 ... and that will give you essentially, look at this will cancel away. This one would be minus away, and this case here would be 3.2 minus 0.3 quickly, and this will be 9x here. All right, that's all right. So this 3.2 minus 0.3 would then be 2.9. This is 9x, so x is equals to 2.9 over 9. You can multiply with 10 top and bottom. That is okay. That is 29 over 90. Okay, of course, this is not the only way to do it. So just check your answer. 29 over 90. That will be 3.22222. Okay, so always use your calculator to check. Okay, whatever you get. So there are more ways to arrive at this answer. You can just multiply with other numbers as well. But this is what I can think of firsthand. Okay, so let's look at the subsequent part. Nice. Look at this question here. The diagram ABCDE are 6 graphs of different functions. This is question 21. Okay. Okay. This is a straight line with a negative gradient. This is a positive gradient. This is reciprocal graph. Then these are 2 quadratic curves. Okay, great. So complete the table. Identify the correct graph of the function. One has been done for you. So E, okay, this is the easier, so it's y equals x plus 1, so no longer needed. So this case here, this is a straight line. This is a straight line. The second one has to be a straight line. A straight line. Okay, the gradient of this straight line is -1/3. Okay, because this is y equals mx plus c, y equals to m. So if you rearrange this, it's actually in this form here. This is -1/3 x plus 1. So this is y equals to m x plus c. This is the straight line here. So what you're going to do is actually just put this as, that's only other straight line will be here. So this is A. Okay, A. There will be A. I'm not sure whether, yeah, so this is the y-intercept, and this is -1/3, that is correct. Then y equals to 2x squared. This is a quadratic curve. So this quadratic curve is a smiling one because this is 2, positive 2, right? Because a is bigger than 0. A meaning the coefficient of x squared. Okay. But it doesn't, the y-intercept is, so when x is 0, y is 0. So it has to touch the origin. 0, 0 is on this graph here. Alright. This one cuts at -2, so it has to be C. So it's C. Alright. There you go. Now this last one is actually a reciprocal graph because, as the name suggests, reciprocal graph is 1 over x, right? But sometimes students get confused whether it's this or this. So you can just simply substitute a value in and check. So when x, let's say you put in x is equals to 1 to this function here, x equals to 1, you get y equals to -4 over 1. This is -4. So 1, -4. So if it's 1 and 1, 1, -4 will be, -4 is here, right? This is 1. So this point is here. So 1, -4, it could be this point here. Okay. This is 1, -4. So in the event where you forgot that a negative graph looks like that, all right, you could, sorry, this is a positive one, might get bad. So in the event you forget that the negative reciprocal graph looks like that, okay, what you can do is you just substitute a value in and check. Okay, just saying. So because 1, -4 can only be this point here, not this. Okay, so it has to be D. Yeah, that's how you do this part here. All right, let's look at the subsequent question. So let's look at question 22. A soccer team plays 2 matches. The tree diagram shows that probability of a team winning or losing the match, or losing the matches. Okay, what a probability that the soccer team wins at least one of the 2 matches. So we're just gonna find out at least one of the 2 matches. Win is at least one of the 2 matches won, right? So meaning you can have at least one, meaning win 1 match and also win 2 matches. Okay, at least one. So is this branch here which satisfy this condition here, and also this branch here because it wins 1. Okay, maybe I should just color code it different. Win 2 matches as well. So this will be win 1 match and win 1 match here. So except for this branch here. So what I prefer to do is actually use complement rule. I'll just take 1 minus of both lose. Okay, you could also just add all the branches up, but both lose will just be 1 minus 2/3 multiplied by 1/4. And that will give us 5/6, is it? Yep, 5/6. Okay, so this is method 1. Method 2, you can just add everything up, it's fine. You just add all the diagram that you see, just add it up. It works as well. You just write it down. So you just take 1/3 times 1/4, or 3/4. 1/3 times 3/4 here. Then plus 1/3 times 1/4 here. Plus 2/3 times 3/4 here. And you just add everything up, you will get the same answer. Okay? So that's how you do this part here. Let's look at question 23. AB is an arc of a circle. So this is an arc of a circle. Great. And after which center O, radius 9 cm. The length of the arc AB is 6 pi. So this arc here is 6 pi. Okay, 6 pi here. The area of a sector is k pi. So area of this sector here is k pi square. Area. Find the value of k pi. Okay, not drawn to scale. Now, if you have an arc length here, what we could do is actually find this angle here in radian. Okay, so let's say theta is in radian. Okay, let AOB equals to theta radian. Okay, radian measure will be easier when it involves what they call it, the arc length there. Alright, that will be the easiest. So if this is theta, what you know that is that if you take theta multiplied by 9 cm, you get 6 pi. So 9 theta equals to 6 pi. So theta will just be 6 pi over 9. Right, or 2/3 pi. Okay, it's okay. We just leave it 6 pi over 9. Once that is established, you know that the area of sector in, okay, this is important. Area of sector in radians is half r squared theta. This is the formula here. So area of sector would just be k pi, because that was given to us. This is half r squared, which is actually 9 squared theta, which is 6 over 9 pi. Okay, so just k pi. So you just cancel out the pi here, one side and the other side there. I think it's pretty okay. Then just key in calculator for this. Well, I'll just show you how to key this in. So this will be half multiplied by 9 squared multiplied by 6 over 9. Okay, then that will be 27. So k will just be 27. 27 cm. Okay. There you go. So that's how we do this question here. Yeah, let's look at the subsequent part. So for this question here, this box and whisker plot shows the monthly electricity cost of 100 different households who use Electro Company and Spark Company, 100 households. Tom says that the monthly costs with Electro Company are low and very less than Spark Company. Is Tom correct? Justified answer refers reference to the box and whisker diagram. Okay, so the first thing is to understand the idea of this diagram here, like median and the interquartile range and so on, right? So this case here, this is the Q2. This will tell you the 50% of the household will pay this amount here. Okay, the median, the most average household will pay this amount, which is, I'm not sure what is it, but we can just write it down. So it's Q2, and after which this over here is also, yeah, the 50% here. Then this is the first 25%, the lower percentile, and the 75th percentile, which is here. This is 25th percentile. This is, so you can see that actually the bulk of the middle 50, this is what we call the middle 50% will hover around this range here, and the middle 50% will also hover around this range here. You can tell that actually the Electro Company charges, in general, more paying customer are paying, 50% of the customer are paying this amount here, and 50% of this will pay within this amount here. Okay, just generally, customer in Spark Company would be charged lesser. Okay, but we have a higher spread. Okay, in other words, if you are charged more in Spark Company, you are likely to be you are likely to be charged more than the customer from Electro Company. You will charge, means high will be higher and low will be lower. The spread is higher, but Electro Company have a more consistent pricing throughout its customer base. Okay, that's how you understand this part here. So Tom says the monthly cost of Electro Company are lower. This is based on the median, right? And on average, whether is it lower? No, you don't think so, because Electrical Company actually charges more than Spark Company, right? Vary would depends on the interquartile range, right? Okay, so vary is a spread. So the spread here will depend on the interquartile range. So we could just quickly write down interquartile range of so Electrical Company. The interquartile range would be Q3 minus Q1. So this is 60. Here is 60. Minus of this would be 40. This is 45. This is 41. No, 42. This is 50, right? There's 42 there. Okay, so this is 60, 42. (42), 60 and 42, there we go, 60 and 42. Then the median would be this value here, which is 52. This is 50, this is 52, so it's 52. Okay, so the interquartile range for Electro Company would be 18. Okay, whereas for Spark Company, the interquartile range would be let me just draw it down. This is 62, 4, 6, 8, 10, so 64. And this would be here. This is 30. This is 38. Okay, so 64 minus 38. 64 minus 38, and the median would then be very quickly here. 42, 4, 46. Okay, 46. The quartile range should be 64 minus 38. 26. Okay, there you go. So this is the part here. Once you calculate the interquartile range and also the median, you can just deduce. Okay, we're just going to write this down. I'm going to say that since the median of electro company is higher than spark company, Tom is wrong to suggest that electro company is cheaper. Okay, the interquartile range of electro company is lower than spark company. Okay. And then companies. Can we just companies? Can we just type it out? Companies. Okay, it's lower than spark companies. Tom is correct to say that spark. Is it spark? Very less. Yeah. Say that. So say that electro company very less than spark company. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you do this question here. So let's look at how we can do the next one. Let's look at question 25, completing the square. Find the turning point of y equals x squared plus 4x minus 3 by completing the square. Now, completing the square formula, this is what I'll use. I'll typically just write down x squared plus bx, and this will just be x plus b over 2 square minus b over 2 square. What you need is essentially making x square, the coefficient of x square 1, so there's 1 here, and b has to be and the coefficient of x, okay? The rest is redundant, so meaning to say you just need to focus on x squared and 4x and just use the formula there. So this case here, what you get is y equals to bracket x plus 4 over 2, which is b square, minus 4 over 2 square minus 3, okay? 4 over 2 is just 2, so it's x plus 2 square minus 2 square, which is 4. Then this will be y equals to 4, so this is negative 7, okay? So the turning point, hence the turning point is when x plus 2 equals to 0, this one in the middle. Okay, you can see that the minimum point, because this is, what you need to know is the completing the square form contains a very interesting property, is that this is always positive, right? Doesn't matter whatever you replace into this x here, it will always remain positive. So meaning it will always add a value to negative 7. So negative 7 plus 2, negative 7 plus 5, you bet it, you can be adding any number. But the only time when it doesn't add a number is when x plus 2 is 0. So x plus 2 is 0, that way x equals to negative 2. So it happens when it's negative 2. And when this whole thing is 0, it will be negative 7. So this case here will be negative 2, comma negative 7. So that's the coordinate of the turning point there. Alright, so let's look at the subsequent part. Question 26. A, B, C, D are points on the circumference of the circle. The line XY is tangent to the circle at A, okay? Find the value of x, giving a reason for your answer x. Okay, so if this is tangent, okay, this is tangent, and you see that this triangle here actually touches the tangent here. Okay, so in other words, if you are going to look at this, this is 55, this would also be 55. This is angle in the alternate segment, right? So x would just be 55 degrees, and this is angles in the alternate segment. Okay, alternate segment. Just know that. And after which, find the value of y, giving our answer, giving your reason for your answer. So this, okay, so you look at this y here, all right, is opposite of this. So this is actually, these both angle will add up to be 180. So y plus 65 will just be 180. This is cyclic quadrilateral. This quadrilateral is in the circle, so any opposite side would actually add up to 180. The angle, the interior angles will add up 180 if the quadrilateral is totally inscribed in the circle. So this case here will just be y is equal to 180 minus 65. That would be 180 minus 65. So this would be 115, and angles cyclic quadrilateral. Angles in the opposite segments. There's another name for cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, we in Singapore we use angles in the opposite segment. They are supplementary, so that's why I'll just write angles in the opposite segments. Yep, so this is how you do this part here. Let's look at the subsequent question here. Let's look at question 27. So simplify this. I think this is pretty okay. What we can do is actually just 27. Remember that this could be multiplied to each term here. This is one term and this is two term. So what you get is actually just 27 a third, x to the power of 6 times a third here. Okay, so once this is done, this may look a bit confusing, but 1/3 will be cubic root of 27. This would be 6 multiplied by 1/3. And this cubic root of 27 is just 3, right? So cubic root of 27 is 3. This will be x to the power of 2, right? So that's how you simplify this part here. So it's 3x squared. Great. And then let's look at B. Find the value of this this odd looking thing here, expression. Same thing, just slowly. What I'll suggest is just try and open this up first. This will be 64 to the power of 0.5, x to the power of 4 times 0.5 times 4 times x squared, negative x to the power minus 2. 64 to the power of 0.5, this is half, so it's actually 8, alright? But if you are not too sure, you can key in calculator 0.5, it will give you 8. Now the reason why is because 64, if it's half, this is root, this half here, power of half is root, right? So because, take note that 64, 0.5 is 64 half, which is square root 64, okay? And after which 4 multiplied by 0.5, that will be 2. Then we get this as multiplied by 4 multiplied by x minus 2. These 2 can add it up, just add it up. Then this will be 8 multiplied by 4, x2 minus 2, that will be x to the power of 0. This is 32, x to the power of 0. X to the power of 0 is 1, so this is 32. Okay? So the answer is 32. X to the power of 0 is 1, just remember that. Okay? So let's look at the last question. Yay, is that the last one? Yes, that's the last one. So for the last question, solving simultaneous equation, you must show all your working. Great. This case here, what you're going to do is actually just, you have 2 equations here. This is 1 and this is 2. I'm just going to sub this y here into the other one. Okay, we use substitution to solve this. So substitute 2 into 1. what I'll get is 4x plus 1 equals to 5x squared plus 4x minus 19. Then once this is done, I'm going to put 4x to the other side and 1 to the other side. So it's 5x squared plus 4x minus 19. 4x bring over will be minus 4x, 1 bring over minus 1. And what we'll get is essentially 5x squared. So this is 5x squared minus 20, 0. Wait, because 4x minus 4x will be 0. So that's why it becomes 0 there. Then what we get is just make x squared the subject. 20 over 5. Maybe 5x squared equals to 20. X squared equals to 20 over 5, which is actually 4. So open up square roots will be plus minus. So it's 2 or minus 2. Remember that. Anyway, it's hinted that you have two set of solution here. So y will be equals to, when x equals to 2, y will be 4, 2 plus 1. I just replace these 2 inside this expression here. That will be 9. And if I replace with minus 2, y equals to 4 minus 2 plus 1, that will be minus 8. Plus 1 minus 7. So this will be 2, 9, 2, negative 7. Okay. So I think that's how you do this question here proficiently. I think we've come to the end of the paper. I think it's generally quite similar to the Singapore O-level mathematics. So for students, if you feel like you want to learn more about mathematics, you can actually sign up for a free mini course where I will teach some of the core concepts there. And there's an online community where you can just post your question and I'll answer your questions. If you think that the online free mini course actually helps you in learning, you can actually consider subscribing to our online courses where I'll be there to personally tutor you. Yeah, join us. Any questions, please do let me know and I will see you in the next question.